Good morning. The Norwegian Nobel Committee has decided to award the Nobel Peace Prize for 2021 to Maria Ressa and Dmitry Muratov for their efforts to safeguard freedom of expression, which is a precondition for democracy and lasting peace. Ms. Ressa and Mr. Muratov are receiving the Peace Prize for their courageous fight for freedom of expression in the Philippines and in Russia. At the same time, they are representatives of all journalists who stand up for this ideal in a world in which democracy and freedom of the press face increasingly adverse conditions. Maria Ressa uses freedom of expression to expose abuse of power, use of violence, and growing authoritarianism in her native country, the Philippines. In 2012, she co-founded Rappler, a digital media company for investigative journalism, which she still heads. As a journalist and Rappler's CEO, Ressa has shown herself to be a fearless defender of freedom of expression. Rappler has focused critical attention to the Duterte regime's controversial, murderous anti-drug campaign. The number of deaths is so high that the campaign resembles a war waged against the country's own population. Ms. Ressa and Rappler have documented how social media is being used to spread fake news, harass opponents, and manipulate the public discourse. Dmitry Andreevich Muratov has for decades defended freedom of speech in Russia under increasingly challenging conditions. In 1993, he was one of the founders of the independent newspaper Novaya Gazeta. Since 1995, he has been the newspaper's editor-in-chief for a total of 24 years. Novaya Gazeta is the most independent newspaper in Russia today, with a fundamentally critical attitude towards power. The newspaper's fact-based journalism and professional integrity have made it an important source of information on censorable aspects of Russian society, rarely mentioned by other media. Since its startup in 1993, Novaya Gazeta has published critical articles on subjects ranging from corruption, police violence, unlawful arrests, electoral fraud, and troll factories, and to the use of Russian military forces both within and outside of Russia. Novaya Gazeta's opponents have responded with harassment, threats, violence, and murder. Since the newspaper's start, 6 of its journalists have been killed, including Anna Politkovskaya, who wrote revealing articles on the war in Chechnya. Despite the killings and threats, editor-in-chief Muratov has refused to abandon the newspaper's independent policy. He has consistently defended the right of journalists to write anything about whatever they want, as long as they comply with the professional and ethical standards.
Da gikk prisen ikke til Reportere uten grenser, men det ble en pressepris, en journalistpris. 2 journalister som har kjempet for det frie ord. Dmitry Muratov fra Russland og Maria Ressa fra Filippinene. Vi har med oss Maria Ressa. First of all, congratulations. What is your reaction of achieving the Nobel Peace Prize for 2021?
Hello. Oh,
hello, Maria Ressa.
Hi, hello. I am
hi,
so sorry.
hi.
I'm a bit in shock.
Congratulations. What is your first reaction for achieving the Nobel Peace Prize for 2021?
I think just shock, and it's really for emotional, but happy for my team, and thank you to the Nobel Peace Prize Committee for recognizing what we're going through.
What does this mean for your work?
It means we keep doing what we do, right? This is added energy, added focus. I mean, the biggest problem that we have is that so much happens in darkness. And I think what we've always tried to do is to continue doing journalism, accountability journalism, investigations that will hold power to account. It's just become far more difficult with the advent of technology and social media, and the way social media has allowed budding authoritarians and dictators to exploit their algorithms and take power and crumble democracies from within. So, I mean, thank you so much for recognizing what effort it takes to do the job of a journalist today.
So much darkness, you say. Do you think this prize will take you from darkness to brightness?
I hope so. I mean, you know, we're writing what our present and our future is going to be right now, right? And I hope that with the focus on where journalism is headed, what journalists have to do in order to actually survive and do good journalism, that this will help us. Thank you so much.
And this prize will definitively give you and your team more spirit to continue the fight.
Rappler has been under attack since 2016, and the mission of journalism has never been as important as it is today. The energy that this will give our little team, you know, we're about 100 people with a median age of 23 years old. We're a very young team, except for me, I'm old. You know, we're actually, this will give us tremendous energy to continue the fight.
But not too old to come to Norway, to come to Oslo and be a part of the big ceremony, the celebration, and get the prize physically.
I certainly hope so. You know, I'm fighting for my right to travel. I've been denied 4 times in the last year, but, you know, there's no better reason to go. I am looking forward to it. Thank you so much.
In the end here now, what do you think the government's reaction to the prize will be?
They obviously will not be happy, but I think that, you know, what we're seeing is we're in a battle for facts, for truth, and facts are under attack. Journalists are attacked because we're trying to hold on to this. Without facts, we can't have truth, you can't have trust, you can't have a society that will try to deal with the huge problems we're all dealing with, the climate change, coronavirus. So this is critical to all of our future, not just the future of the Philippines, but also the future of democracies around the world.
You have to share the prize with the Russian journalist Dmitry Muratov. What will you say to your Russian colleague today?
Courage, on. Congratulations. You've continue holding the line, and congratulations.
Maria Ressa, thank you so much being with us live from the Philippines. Ja, vi sitter her med Jostein Kobbeltvedt. Mange vil kanskje si at dette var en litt overraskende. Ja, vi skal først tilbake til Nobelinstituttet, Jostein, og høre litt mer på komiteens leder, Berit Reiss-Andersen.
Of journalists is absolutely necessary to achieve these goals and to, in that manner, develop democracy.
Madam Chair, we are witnessing a world where fake news is expanding. We all witnessed what happened in the United States when the former president did not accept the result of the election. How important do you think it is to really stand by for free journalism, free press, the free speech of word?
Well, there is an irony that in today's world we have more press and more information than the world ever has faced. At the same time, we also see the abuse and the manipulation of the free press and the public discourse. As with fake news, this is one of the issues of Maria Ressa. She is very critical to the use of Facebook to manipulate the public debate. And freedom of expression is full of paradoxes. And conveying fake news and information that is propaganda and untrue is also a violation of freedom of expression. And all freedom of expression has its limitations. That is also a very important factor in this debate.
Madam Chair, my name is Bibiana Piena. I'm with the Norwegian News Agency. I have two questions for you. First, the last years, the Filipino government has led a crackdown on journalists, a very serious one. Now we see the same thing happening in countries like Afghanistan. What impact do you hope this prize will have on regimes like Philippines and Afghanistan? That's the first question. My second question is regarding not this year's prize, but the prize from 2 years ago to Abiy Ahmed. He is now waging a war in the Tigray region in Ethiopia. He has recently expelled several senior UN officers. Has Mr. Ahmed lived up to the expectations of the Nobel Committee?
Today I will not comment on other Nobel laureates and other issues than we have on the table today. But I can mention that the situation for freedom of press in Ethiopia is very far from ideal and is facing severe restrictions. This prize will not solve the problems that journalists or freedom of expression is facing. But what we do hope is that it will shed a light on the importance of the work of journalists and also shed a light on how dangerous it is to exercise freedom of expression, not only in places currently facing war and conflict, but really all over the world. If you read the Reporters Without Borders Press Freedom Index, it is a very sad index to read, because the press and freedom of expression is challenged all over the world, but it is our intention to underscore how important this activity is for exactly a larger goal, democracy and peace.
Any other questions?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ja, det sa Berit Reiss.